There's a very special thing in the final minute of this video, so be sure to stick around for that. It wouldn't work if I put it in the beginning, so I'm sorry for that, but you can always skip to it if you want. This video has been really tricky to figure out. Aside from being too busy over the past 2 weeks to finally sit down and edit this, I've also been worried about feeling like I'm using a treasury for clout. And of course, inevitably, a YouTube video can get a lot of attention, so I just want to make it clear right now that I'm doing this for Technoblade and for the community as a way of remembrance and mourning for people like me who want to mourn in this fashion. You can find this build on WilburSoot's public Minecraft server, SootSMP, which I already made a video on, and I want to do more since it has a lot of really great people, without whom I would have taken weeks to even do this build, so thanks a lot for the help. I was able to do it within a couple days of joining, which by the time of writing the script was almost exactly 2 weeks ago, so I have been sitting on this footage for a bit. A lot of people who play on the server have already seen the monument. As I said in my previous video, this build has a lot of inspirations, chiefly Philza, but also a load of fan art that depicts Techno as a pink-haired human wearing a big mask, which is often pink or white. Now, I chose the pink mask because, do I really have to explain, like, pink? It's kind of a no-brainer, really. And also, it just looks better for the build. From Philza, I took major inspiration from the diamond blade plus cape flowing in the wind thing that he did on his hardcore world, which was very touching, that stream. I recommend it if you haven't checked it out. I'll leave the link in the description down below. Now, I wanted to make it at least somewhat different so that it's more of an inspiration than a copy. I took the concept and some of his building techniques, like the usage of oak leaves, scaffolding, and actual scaffolding, or the way he puts the cape on the hilt, as well as the way the blade itself is built. I wanted it to look a lot like a fancy version of a vanilla diamond sword, and that's what I went for in the hilt and the crossguard specifically. I always wanted Techno's crown to be part of the build. There's no way I could make a Techno build and not have the crown as a part of it. Phil had the blade of the sword start in the center of the crown on the ground, and that is a really awesome choice, but as I said, I didn't want to copy it. So initially I wanted the crown to hang on the hilt, but I couldn't find a way of putting it there that didn't look unnatural, and I couldn't make it look slanted at such a small scale. So instead I decided to put the crown on top of the big mask. Still looks a bit janky because of how little would actually be keeping the crown in place in that scenario, but if you ignore that, you can live with it. I can improve it next year when the server resets. It resets every year or so for a new update, a new major update in the form of seasons. So when that happens, I'm going to make another monument, and it's obviously going to be bigger and better because there's no way I won't take this year to work on the design and make it even greater for next year, because obviously that's what I feel Technoblade deserves. Before I leave you all for now, there is a very special little speech that is near and dear to my heart. You will know the reference if you're a Technoblade fan. It's the way I found of communicating how I feel about all this without exposing myself too much. I hope you enjoy, and if not, I'll try to do better for next time. So I'll be seeing you. Be well. I think life at its core is the ultimate challenge in resource management. You spawn in a tiny part of an extremely large yet empty universe, and in this miniature world that we are each given, we need to treasure every second of time with our families and friends and loved ones. Because if 1 second is lost, there is no way to replace it. And as you begin to understand this, you gain a new appreciation for all the things around us that we can love and cherish through all the crushing hardships that life brings. Step by step, we turn our limited material means into a life that is very much our own. Life teaches us that no matter how ridiculous
the odds may seem, within us resides the power to overcome these challenges and achieve something beautiful. That one day, we'll look back at where we started and be amazed by how far we've come.